Um, well, thank you. I'm so glad that I'm here. I'm really grateful to be here. I'm pretty kind of nervous. There's children here. I don't want the children to judge me. Last week I was going to come up here. I had it all planned out. I had to come to town to get my son's bike fixed and pick it up. And I was like, going open mic and gotta get up there. And I literally drove down here and then changed my mind. It was so bad. And I went home. I felt so bad. I was like, what a chicken. And I kept thinking, what if it's no good? What if nobody laughs? And then I asked myself, like, what's my point? What am I doing? Why do I want to go up there? And before, when I used to come up here, it's been a long time, but I was mostly for comedy and to try to make people laugh. But now it's more, my motivation is more inspiration, and I hope that people will find it funny as well. And then another big part is just conquering my fear and just getting up here and sharing some of my thoughts. Just finding some authenticity and sharing some of my experiences. But I do like to tell jokes too. So here's a little icebreaker. These are just like random thoughts. Meth heads are like zombies, only faster. So I kind of lived like in pretty much isolation for a really long time. Like there was a point in time where I thought that Elon Musk was a character in a movie. I actually didn't know he was a real person. But he's a really smart guy. He does a lot of great stuff. And he said, I heard him say the other day that we're going to ruin life on this planet. We're going to go extinct. So we should go to Mars. Which is pretty smart. So instead of taking care of the planet that has like life and oxygen and plants, we should totally build a ship and go to a dead one. So, woo! Way to go. Anyway, so I lived in my own little world that didn't have social media, and then at some point, like around in 2015, I was drawn into the wild world of social media. I didn't really even like look at YouTube, so I started watching YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Boy, they have those teams, social engagement teams. They know how to get you. You know, there's a whole group of them thinking of ways to draw you in, and the ego is the easiest way. You know, when you start posting stuff and comments, you're like, oh my God, my comment's on the top. I'm important. People like what I say. I feel really good about myself. This is awesome. I'm going to say some more stuff. And then you look at it from a computer that's not yours. And that's when you find out you're completely irrelevant. No, but it's a really great lesson in ego. The same coin with two sides. The one that pumps you up and the other to pull you down. And it's like con artists. Back in the day, they actually had to show up to try to con you. Now they just build machines to do it for them. Just some random things that I was thinking about. I am a Generation X, so baby boomers, Generation X. And I just wonder, like, who decides what to name the next generation? Is that like a committee that like tosses names around and there's like one person that decides, all right, this is what we're going with? And now we're at Generation Z, but it's kind of weird. If they're going to do alphabet names, you think they wouldn't start at X. That's got me a little worried. Like, we're at Z, what's next? I don't know, I'm kind of concerned. Oh yeah, one thing that's been on my mind a lot lately is plastic. Plastic. It's like, where does it go? Nowhere. It just keeps getting smaller. And I, for a long time, I had a hard time recycling. My life was such a disaster. It was like, I could barely like stay alive and try to get through the day. Like, recycling is just not on the list. And I would think to myself, someday when things get better, make up for my slacking off, and I'm going to recycle, and it's going to be great, and I'm going to feel really good. And that day has finally come. I'm actually really good at it. And then I found out recycling is like a total lie. They've actually been burying it in the landfill. And that's actually not a joke, that's actually true. The recology trucks that drive around, they just go to the landfill and bury it. I know, kind of a bummer. And I was like, yeah, I just got good at it. I don't know whether to like stop recycling, keep recycling, like what should I do? But I just keep recycling anyways. Which is they could make compostable plastic, but why would they want to, make compost when they could just have a package with a product that expires in 5 days and lasts forever? Another thing I was thinking about is grocery stores. What a ripoff, man. I'm a big fan of permaculture and food forests. So wouldn't it be cool if there was like food forests everywhere, like all over town? And then I was thinking, that's cool. Towns have landscaping, right? They spend a lot of money on that stuff. You see the guys like cruising around taking care of the flowers and the trees. Like, they could just plant food everywhere. And then I was thinking, I totally want to sneak around at night and go plant food. Like, pull out their decorative bushes and plant food. Be like the food planting bandit. I wonder if I would go to jail for that. They got caught planting food. No. Well, it would be cool to have food everywhere. Like, you go shopping, you just grab some snacks, like pea plants everywhere. And then I started thinking about, well, what could go wrong? Like, what if somebody poisoned the food? And I was like, wait, somebody already is. Speaking of food poison and plastic, BPA. That's like everybody's favorite like chemical to hate, right? Remember when we found out it was in our plastic? Like, why does it smell so funny? And I was like, okay, we gotta get the BPA out of the plastic. And then you go in there and you buy your BPA-free plastic. And I don't know if you guys know this, but it's all over receipts. Bank receipts, cash register receipts. And I was buying my BPA-free plastic at the cash register, and then the cashier turned to me and said, would you like a receipt with that? And then I had to ask myself the obvious question. It's always like that moment when the question that should have been totally obvious but wasn't until it is. Well, if there's no BPA in it, what are they using? Does anyone know the answer? It's BPS. And BPF. I wonder what the S and the F stand for. But it basically has this, it's the same chemical, they just changed the letter. It has the same effects. It disrupts it's a hormone mimicker. So they tricked us. BPA free!
Reality check.
Oh, so I doing really good lately. I had like a big breakdown. That was really cool. I learned a lot. It was very cleansing. Breakdowns are. Maybe one of these days I'll tell that story. I shared my breakdown with others, and then it got like played out in songs that are still playing, which is pretty cool. It's a good reminder how far I've come. But I've been trying to get rid of my bad habits, because like, once you start getting rid of them, you think, okay, I gotta keep going. But my habits are like lizard tails. Every time I break one off, I grow a new one. All right, that's it. Thank you.